Hello, hello. Today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic in my eyes for sure about feminine approach to business. As you know, all these years and centuries and many long period of time lifespans, right? Uh, People usually men were very savvy in business. They were doing business, and therefore they were teaching each other how to do business. And then time has come when women went full ahead into business, and the problem started. And the problem was we are very different biologically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, on all levels from males, from men. And so we have very different way to approach life, to approach business, to approach how we do everything. But we've been taught all these years by business mentors, we've been taught the traditional way how men do it. And usually, especially in the past, not so much now, but in the past, there were a lot of only business mentor men who would teach women and men how to do business because and they were successful, they were rich, they had everything, and of course women wanted to learn how to do business. But again, as I already said, we're very different from males, and feminine approach has not been addressed in the past. And that's why I believe a lot of women do not really, they want to be in business or they are already in business, but they're not successful. Why? Not because they're not capable of, that's for sure. They are very capable. However, they intuitively know that the way the traditional business model, the male model, does not suit them. They don't want to participate. They don't like it. It's repelling to them. But they don't know the other way because nobody taught them. And so what do they choose? So basically we had, as women in the past, we had two choices. I think one choice was to put on pants and do the work as traditional and engage in the traditional male business approach, or sit in a house, sit at home, your name in the kitchen woman, right? And your place is in the kitchen. And that's not acceptable in these times, because women are fully capable, fully everything, educated and trained and everything, and they can do business. We all can do business and we can be successful. And now, for many women, there is a very different approach that we all could engage into and actually enjoy business. And this way is the female way. The female way is very different. It's actually the opposite way from the male. Why? Because again, we're different, we are structured differently, we're wired differently, and the main thing is we're different spiritually. Not to separate anybody, but we just it's spiritually we represent two different polarities. And therefore our business should be according to how what we represent and how it is. And we represent, I think it's the first time I'm daring to say it out loud in the public. Maybe other people say it, I don't know, but here I am. So we women represent the soul, and the soul is made of light, and the light operates very different from everything else. And what's the approach? What's the feminine approach to business? And feminine approach to business is the opposite of the male, as I already said, and it's obvious. And what's the male approach? Well, it's overrun, overperform, overcompete, fierce competition, very testosterone driven, very aggressive. You have to sell all the time. You have to focus on the money at all times. You are constantly in a hunting mode, because if you don't hunt, if you then don't take actions, you will not succeed. And these actions have to be constant. You constantly have to do it. So I remember reading a book by a man who is very, very successful. He made big wealth in a multi-level marketing, which is a very tough market. And he shares how he is completely focused on sales 24/7. He goes to a restaurant and he will be speaking loudly so all other tables could hear him, and he would talk about his business. So it was like advertisement, but unofficial one. Well, I cannot imagine me being in the restaurant, speaking out loud, bothering everybody around, even to talk about my business, because to me as a woman, that's not acceptable. And therefore, his approach is not appropriate for me. Therefore, if that would be the only one approach, I would be not in business for sure, because I don't want this way. And it does feel very salesy, very slimy to me, because it just hunting, it's not attracting. And I believe in a very different way. And so I would like to share what way I believe in, and it's the flow way. And the flow way is, I keep talking about that there are two ways of approaching business and life. One is the hard way, the muggle way, and the other one is the mystic way. So the female way of approaching business is the mystic way. Why am I saying that? Well, because there is a whole even system how we're supposed to create, because we're not moving mountains. We have to create effortlessly. We do take actions, but it has to be in a flow. And so I'm going to show you this graphic. Beautiful, by the way, I like it. And this is how it works. This is the female way of doing business. First, we get a divine idea. So everything, absolutely everything comes from the divine. And divine, and in my graphic, it's light. So the light, so we receive the light, and light comes into our head. And that's when we get a light the the light comes on, right? So that's the idea that we receive. So people say $1 million idea. Napoleon Hill actually gave a quote that, if you believe, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember word for word, but it's one of my most favorite quotes. So he said, after all the interviewing so many wealthy people in the nation, he came to the conclusion that if you believe that hard work and honest work will bring you the riches, you're wrong, because it will not. So what brings the riches is the big idea. So ideas are the ones that start everything. Well, I say not ideas that start everything, but the divine starts everything. And so, but we have to receive that divine idea. So when we receive that idea, we get the light bulb on, the light comes on, because we got the idea. And that idea is divinely approved, which is super, super important, because we did not get this idea from some lower part of us, but we actually got the idea from the divine, from love, from light. And this idea is creative, it's constructive, and it's to serve divine through us and help other people. So I say it's a divinely guided, divinely inspired business idea. So then when we receive that idea, we have to take actions. But before we take actions, we have to make sure that we are in divine flow. What does that mean? So the second one on my graphic is the green light flow, as I call it. I came up with this term. It's very easy. Well, when you drive on the road and all the lights are green and you cannot believe it, you just go through like a corridor. And when you're really in this divinely ordained green light flow, you really, at least I really feel that energetic corridor, and it's created all in front of you, and you're just traveling through that corridor. Well, I'm speaking right now maybe in spiritual terms, not understandable. Now it's here is the simple terms. For example, you need to call that person who is very instrumental in whatever, maybe you scheduling a speech, you want to find speaking engagement or whatever, and then you need to call that contact. You have to find time, you have to look for the number. You have to find good time, because the time maybe they won't pick up the phone, right? Well, all of that is the going against the flow, because the flow will bring this contact to you. So if that contact is ordained to help you, then that contact will call you. So that contact calls you, and everything is, you pick up the phone, you didn't need to look for the number. That person called you and you talking, and of course you're in sync, because everything is divinely, it's a divine setup, it's all ordained. I'm using the word ordained, I don't even know why, this is the first time I'm using it in this context, but I want to stress that this is a divine setup. Everything is like stars aligned, everything is in a corridor. And you would say, what if I don't know that person? Well, yes, then you call that person and that person will pick up or will connect with you momentarily. So it's easier. That what I'm trying to say, the green light flow means it's easier. Everything is aligned and you're traveling much faster than you would overcome obstacles in a usual way. And then when you divine light green light flow is done, it's in front of you, you're traveling it, well, you do have to take actions, and you will be guided step by step. Every step will be given to you, because the idea is already there, the light is flowing, the green light is there, and now time to take actions. And so again, when you take those actions, everything will be provided for you, everybody will cooperate with you, those people who are supposed to help you, because we're never alone, we're always helped by the divine through the humans. And that is very, very prevalent, and you can feel it and see it when you travel the green light flow. And then, of course, the result comes because you did get the idea, you received the light, you got the idea, you traveled the corridor of green light flow, and you took all necessary actions. I will never say that you will be sitting on the couch doing nothing, eating pizza, and everything will be provided. It's not the case. So you took actions, you've done all of that, and then you receive the result. And the result, this result will be much bigger and much better than what you want. So let's say because the idea it came from the divine. Divine is unconditional love. Therefore, you will get much more love that you even expected if you follow all of that and you really rode that green light flow. So this is how it works, and this is more acceptable. Well, that's the only way to do business in the future, I believe, because this is the way, when it's easier, when it's enjoyable, when it's smooth, and it gives you better result than you anticipated. So to me, that's the best way, and that's the only way how to live your life and how to do your business. I hope you will agree with me, because that's an amazing way to live. And but there is but you cannot just because I told you so, you will not go into immediately start living in a divine flow like that and create very easily, because you've been accustomed to the other way, and your state of consciousness is on that other way set. And for this type of life and business, you have to be in alignment with divine and the soul and human all together, working in unison, because divine will give you the great idea, $1 million idea. You, as a soul, you will have to orchestrate everything, and human has to take actions and execute. So the human is the executive power, the soul is creative power, artistic, inspirational, and divine is the one that gives us the power itself, and it gives us the great divine ideas. But if you are like this in your state of consciousness with belief, with limited beliefs, well, can you receive any divine ideas? I don't think so. And what if you don't even talk to your human at all? What if your live stream, your soul is separated from your human, two are separate, not talking, and basically the soul is asleep? Then what? How do you even how can you even engage in that flow? Because look, you have to have the light, you have to receive the light, you have to perceive it, you have to be able to follow it to the T, you have to be able to get communication, to understand what's required from you, because nothing is spoken, everything is in energetic, and you have to perceive it. Well, yes, we women are very intuitive, but do we trust, do women trust their intuition? A lot of times they don't. And so that's because, again, back to this, that's because this is the state of condition of the material consciousness. Therefore, I would like to invite you to my upcoming 3 full day immersive virtual live event, where I'm going to teach you how to actually get in that business, female business flow, when you can really go through that flow and create gracefully. So, at my event, you will discover your true purpose in this life. And it's not about what you're thinking right now. A lot of people teach about purpose and they equate it with things that you have to accomplish on the material plane, which is not true exactly, because your true purpose in this life is entirely different. You will learn how to achieve the spiritual mastery of the material world. And that graphic that I showed to you, how spiritual mastery means you take your spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of the divine, the connection with the divine, and you use it in the material world to create money, to make money, to create relationships, to create everything you want, to answer, to fulfill your innermost desires. And you will acknowledge your inner calling. Some people don't even know about their calling, they're not even aware of it. So what is inner calling? People think it's, again, it's to achieve. No, it's not. There is another reason for it. So, my event is called Divine Wealth, the inner journey home to freedom and power. And divine wealth is something that you do not want to miss in your life. And from this state where soul is asleep and human is running around without control, and there is a barrier between them, they're not even talking, to closer a little bit with no barrier anymore, and then to a beautiful state when soul is awake and they're together, and then to the final state where all aligned, you aligned, in other words, you aligned with God, you aligned with your divine self, that will bring you everything you want in this life and more. Okay, I talked to you about spiritual reasons, but how about just regular things that you want to change in your life? Well, how you will learn at the event how to take full control over all events, drama, situations, truly, fully taking full control. How to change people without saying a word to them. We do that on a regular basis, my clients and I, because we have a system, we know how to do it. How to heal permanently, enough of being on medication, enough of having all kinds of health conditions, when there is spiritual knowledge that can help you heal. How to get rid of all the money fears permanently. In this world of never enough, you will never get rid of your money fears unless you learn what to do about it and how to proceed. And for business people, this is very important because many people struggle, especially women, struggle with imposter syndrome, fear of failure, fear of success, inner saboteur, and the list goes on and on. There are many books on that, and it's all mindset. I offer spiritual approach, not mindset. These are two entirely different things. How to feel harmonious and peaceful at all times, how to grow business and live life in the flow, as I already explained earlier. And of course, I always teach about divine guidance signs because they are most important part of our communication with the divine. So, to summarize all of this, you will learn how to achieve spiritual mastery of the material world, how to stop hustling and get in the flow, and how to partnership with the divine permanently. These three very noble goals to achieve in this lifetime. And if you do, your life will be changed dramatically and it will improve exponentially. So, 3 full days immersive virtual experience of inner transformation. It's only $97. And I tell you, and I guarantee $97 is nothing. You will forget about it very soon. However, if you come to the event, participate, embrace everything, and you will receive tremendous spiritual transformation, divine message, and your life will never be the same. So, it's your choice. Register now at irinabaker.com/wealth. Divine Wealth, the inner journey home to freedom and power. And I hope to see you there because you cannot lose this opportunity. Opportunity doesn't come very often. You should take it. And remember, when you follow, um, remember, when you follow the divine, money will follow you. When you serve the divine, money will serve you. Until we meet again, goodbye.